You ready? Go. Go. Works. Like, go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's Nick. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, welcome. For those of you guys that have been watching, just wanted to say thank you. It honestly means more than you guys know. Today is our last day in Copenhagen, so we figured we'd put together this cool little transitions video that we've been filming throughout our trip to help you guys with some of the transitions that we use in our vlogs. So there's 6 transitions we're gonna be talking about today. Some of them are a little bit more complicated than others, but none of them are overly complicated. Some of them are actually really, really simple. The first transition is the spin transition. Basically, all you have to do is you film yourself in the first location, and when you're about done, you spin a certain way, and at the new location, you start by spinning in the same way, and you cut those 2 clips together, and that's gonna give you like a teleportation feel. Okay, I'm at the Eiffel Tower right now, and I'm gonna spin really quick, and we're gonna appear at the Louvre. You ready? Go. We are at the Louvre. That is the spin transition in its essence. You can teleport basically anywhere. In this clip, you can see that I'm at the Eiffel Tower, I say what I wanna say, and then I spin and I appear at the Louvre. To make this transition work, what you have to do is just make sure you spin basically the exact same direction so that the clips can be cut together. The thing that makes it work is the motion blur. So when you're editing the clip, you look for, at the end of the first clip, you look for the blur, the most like blurred scene, you cut it there. At the beginning of the second clip, you're going for, when you're spinning into the scene, you cut at the motion blur as well, put them together, and it should make a seamless transition from one scene to the other. The next transition is basically the exact same thing, but instead of side to side, it's up and down. You are at a scene and you are, say, filming yourself, and at the end of the clip, you go up with the camera. At the next scene, you're gonna start coming from down up into whatever either the scene is or you talking. Now we're gonna do a different transition and go somewhere else. Ready, go. It's critical that, again, you do it the same way. Some people can get confused because when you're filming yourself and you go up, you're thinking, oh, I need to go up at the next scene. No. You gotta think how the camera's moving. The scene is moving up, so when you come back to the scene, you gotta start from down and come back up. It's the same motion is what you're going for. And it's the same type of thing. You're cutting at the motion blur on the first clip, the second clip, the same thing. The more or less the blurriest part, put the 2 clips together, and it should give you a seamless transition. The next transition is an extremely simple one. It's the hand up transition that you've probably seen a ton of people use before. You film the first scene, and then you put your hand over the camera. Basically, it makes it go black. At the next scene, you start with your hand over the camera, take it away, and you cut on the first clip. As soon as you see the black screen, you cut it, and then the next clip, the last black piece that you can see right before there's light or any type of visibility, that's where you make that cut. You put the 2 clips together, and it kind of looks like you've gone from one place to another in an instant because you're putting your hand up and then it's coming off, and it acts as a good transition from one scene to another. We just came out of the castle, and now it is snowing. The next transition we're gonna do is just a simple one that you see a lot of people do all the time, and that's the hand transition. So this is how it works. So now we are at the fort. That is exactly how you do the hand transition. It's really easy. Hand in front of the camera, and then when you get to the place, put the hand over the camera and right off. So that's the hand transition for you. The next transition is basically the exact same thing as the hand up, but it's a little bit different because of the way you're doing it. It's the bringing the camera to your shirt. So you're filming a scene, the first scene, and then at the end, you grab the camera and you bring it into your shirt. It's making it black at the end. When you start the next scene, you start with the camera in and bring it out. You might look like a crazy person, but it does add like a cool little feel to it. One thing with the hand is you're basically bringing the motion to the camera. When you're bringing it to your shirt, you're bringing the camera to you. So it makes it feel a little bit different, almost kind of like you're, throwing the viewer into the scene in a way. And I think it does add a little bit different, but it's the same concept with the black screens of putting your hand up. So we are in Copenhagen now, and we're gonna go over a few of the other transitions. This one is called into the shirt. You just grab the camera and put it right in like, and now we're at Rosenborg Castle. That is how you do the in and out transition with your t-shirt. The next transition is the swiping or pointing transition. What you do is you film the first scene, you say what you want to say, and at the end, you swipe in front of the camera. And it's really helpful if you have somebody else filming you, because say I'm swiping this way, as soon as I'm swiping, they're gonna move the camera the same way. And what that's gonna do is create that motion blur again, but because of your motion, it's gonna help kind of add like this, you know, like you're swiping the people into the scene effect. So that's it. The end of the first clip, the beginning of the second clip, they're gonna, you know, bring the camera in the opposite way, creating that motion blur again, and it's gonna look like you threw the viewer into the scene. So this is what we call the point transition, or like swipe. So you're just gonna go like this, and then whoever has the camera, you gotta swipe it the same way that they point. So we're gonna go to the Little Mermaid now, that's by the sea, or the mermaid statue, whatever it is. Ready, go! Another type of pointing transition that Danielle and I like to use is literally just pointing to something, and this works really well in B-roll. As you're pointing, the person's filming you and is filming where you're pointing, and it basically just makes the viewer naturally drawn, obviously, to see what you're pointing at, and then it can add as like a transition from that scene to whatever you want to show them. And the last transition that Danielle and I use is one that I haven't really seen anyone else use. I guess we kind of made it up. We call it the let's go transition. We film the first scene, you know, and we're, you know, filming ourselves, and then say we're going, I don't know, wherever we're going, and we say, all right, let's go, and you kind of like bring your, you know, face close to the camera, and then that's for the first scene. The second scene, you can basically just film whatever you wanted to film, but that movement of you going to the camera and kind of getting a little bit louder, I think it works as a transition, and it's kind of a unique little one that we use.
Now we are headed to the Museum of Scotland.
Let's go! So those are 6 transitions that Danielle and I like to use to help kind of spice up our videos and just get people from one scene to another. Obviously, with anything, you don't want to overuse transitions because it can kind of just get a little obnoxious, but I think they can be very helpful in telling the story that you want to tell. If there's any transitions that you guys use that I didn't mention, please leave them in the comments below. It's always really interesting to learn from you guys and just pick up different tricks. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to do that as well. And we will see you guys in our next video. Bye, guys.